Hello, and welcome to Gimme Gaming. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video is all about bettering our aim. I'm going to take you guys through a few warm-ups that have helped me improve and win more gunfights. Now there is more to winning than just gunplay, but I'll cover those tips in another video. Now the beginning of this video will focus on completely new players as I cover the basics of how the weapons work and just overall beginner tips and help. If you're a bit seasoned with FPFs and Apex in general, I'll leave a timestamp either on the vid itself or the description so you can jump ahead. Be sure to stick around until the end for a small Easter egg that is pretty fun and useful. And without further ado, we're going to hop right into the firing range and begin. And real quick, if you find this video helpful, be sure to leave a like to help me out, and be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on future releases. Alright guys, so we're going to be spending a little bit of time here. This is something that I tend to do before every game or just every match in general. If you stick to this, I promise you will see an improvement in your aim. You just got to stick to it and just be dedicated to it, and you will see results. So you want to grab a gold bag and grab as much ammo as you can, any weapon, it doesn't really matter. But what I like to do first here is just kind of warm up my hands, just get used to shooting, and just kind of prepare my hands and my mind mentally for the game. Being prepared, obviously, for anything helps. So it's right here, you just want to just practice shooting some targets, whatever gun you want to work on, just pick those guns, pick the ammo, and just kind of, you know, just warm up, just kind of get loose and get ready for like the actual quote-unquote training. Okay, so after you're warmed up, you're going to want to find a flat wall like this and just shoot, just ADS and hold the right trigger, and you'll see here the recoil pattern of whatever gun you have. Now each gun has a unique recoil pattern. As you see here, the R99 is kind of almost straightforward, so almost straight up with a little bit of pull to the right. So basically what I do, and to kind of control that pattern, is I just move my right stick diagonally down. So any way the pattern goes, you kind of want to go in the opposite way. As you see there, you want to have a nice little grouping and be able to control it like that. Now pro players will probably be able to like completely keep it in like one little spot, but for, you know, an average guy like me, that's probably what you want to see. You want to see that grouping. You can see the difference in the pattern, and for a little extra challenge, you can try to group in these little crevices here, but you don't really have to do that. And like I said, every gun has a unique pattern. So if you see the R301's pattern here, it kind of goes straight up and jerks to the right and then right back to the left. So it's a little easier to control initially and kind of just jumps a little bit. So you just want to move your right stick in the opposite direction of wherever that pattern is going. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is a body test, where basically in Apex Legends, and I'm sure a lot of other FPSs, where you hit the person depends on how much damage you do. So for example, if you hit someone in the feet here, you'll do, so actually let me switch to a single fire weapon real quick. So you see there I do 11 damage to the feet, 14 to the body, and then 28 to the head. Now obviously you want to aim for the head, but for starting out you want to aim like basically at their neck, so that way if you know, the recoil kind of gets out of hand a little bit, you can hit a few headshots and then like kind of recenter it on their like center mass. That way you can still do like good damage. So this is where we kind of get into the actual warm-up here. So, and I'm just showing you guys kind of like the results of what can happen once you know, kind of practice and warm up a little bit. So we're going to grab, make sure I got some ammo, and we're going to go back over to the wall. Now this is where you guys would start. So you want to go over to the wall and you want to do that recoil thing that I was telling you guys about. You want to really try hard to group them as best as you can. I'm going to show you here the actual like recoil of the gun again. So that's, you know, that's without me like trying to do any control or anything like that. And then here's me controlling it. Now you want to try to make it look like that as best you can. Starting out, you might not necessarily get that same result, but you want to get as close to that as possible. And here is the recoil for the R301, and here's me trying to attempt to control it. So as you see there, that's kind of what you want to have happen, and you want to do this as many times as it takes until you feel comfortable enough with whatever weapon you have to get that kind of result. So when you guys are finished with the wall and you feel more, and you're like real comfortable with your recoil control, you want to kind of just play around with this dummy here and just, you know, move around while you're shooting them. you know, do random movements, strafe left to right, whatever, different distances, whatever you need to work on. This is kind of like your own personal time here. You want to, so like one of my things is kind of, you know, not strafing enough sometimes. So I like to kind of take this time to kind of move around and try to do as much damage as possible with, you know, one clip. And for the purpose of this warm up, to get the I guess the maximum benefit of it, you want to do this with no attachments on whatever gun you're using, because if you're in the game, you're going to get attachments and it's only going to improve or help you. So if you could do this without any attachments, then once you get the attachments, you know, it'll be so much easier to do, and you know, you can just be a beast. You can fry like multiple people with an extended purple mag or something crazy like that. So yeah, basically this is where you just want to take your time and work on whatever you feel like you need the most work on, and just have fun with it, different ranges, whatever you need to work on, whatever gun, just kind of warm up for the next challenge. The next part in this training is what I like to call the one clip challenge. You want to head over to these dummies here and you want to try to just one clip them as many times as you can. Like I said before, doing this with no attachments really gives you the full benefit of the warm-up or workout or whatever you guys want to call it, training. And you just want to stand here and you just want to kind of really just focus on your recoil. So don't worry about movement, just really focus on your recoil pattern here. You want to make sure that you're able to one clip this dummy a good amount of times. Okay, if you guys stick to this, and you know, when you're first starting out, this might be a little harder than I'm making it look right now, but you keep doing it, I promise you guys will be able to do it, and you will see a vast improvement in your aim and your accuracy overall. So for those of you that are kind of like me, that need like a goal or like a milestone or whatever, I recommend trying to do this, like one clipping them 5 times in a row if you are a newer player, and if you've played Apex a little bit or are kind of just experienced overall, maybe do 10 times in a row or 15 in a row. The key word is in a row. So for me, I typically do, you know, before I go to a match, I like to try to do this 12 times, like in a row, before I'm ready to go into there. So if you're new, start with the smaller numbers and just work your way up until you get to the numbers that you feel are great. Alright, so this next little thing is a obstacle course that I found from another YouTuber, which I can't really remember who it was, but basically you want to jump off of that gun rack there, one clip this person, and then one clip this person over here before you pass this little rock here. And if you can't wall jump, then that's fine. I might go over that in another video, but this is what it should look like. I think my first attempt here was a fail. I don't think I one clip the next guy, but you want to try to do this, you know, maybe like 4 or 5 times in a row. This will really help you as far as like live game performance. So like getting used to the movement and just like where the player is. It really kind of like train your reflexes to kind of snap to the target, or you know, just kind of also incorporate your movement while you're fighting someone. So you really want to pay attention to how well you're doing at this part here. And like I said, you want to try to do like maybe 3 times in a row, or 5, or however many you feel like is good enough for you. So the final thing that I want to go over is this little glitch that will really help you guys as far as like training. So basically you want to go all the way to the right, or if you're coming into the training, all the way to your left, and you want to go in this little bunker thing here. I think it only works if your inventory is empty. So you want to go here and make sure your inventory is empty here. You want to change to Pathfinder. I don't know if you can do this with Horizon or Loba, but I know for sure you can do it with Pathfinder. So you want to switch to Pathfinder and then go all the way back here, and right around here you want to go on this little platform up here, and so you're going to use this grapple to get up there. Now once you get up there, you're going to look straight down and crouch. So for me, crouch is circle button, so I'm gonna press circle button, and once you're looking straight down and crouch, you're going to change your legend, and you should hear this sound if it works. So if you hear like that like money sound, that means that the dummies are now active. So they will have weapons, they will move around, they will try to shoot you. This is really awesome for like, you know, getting a feel for like your movement and your aiming, and just basically putting everything together. Now these guys are like bot level, so they're not necessarily like the smartest players, but I promise you, if you do not take them seriously, they will kill you. Their aim is pretty good. Their movement and like placement is kind of bad. So even though their aim and their movement is bad, their aiming is pretty good. So it's a really good practice for like high pressure situations, because it's basically a 1v5 or 1v2 or 1v3, whatever. It depends on how they attack you, but it's kind of, you know, not as stressful as a real game. So you can like work on like, you know, keeping your composure and just like armor swapping and just all types of different stuff here that can really help you with like live games. And you know, no matter what level you are, you should be able to finish them. But like I said, if you don't take them seriously, they will knock you. Like their aim is pretty good, and it's also a good way to kind of strafe. Like some of them have like this energy weapon that I think is supposed to be an L-star. I don't really know what weapon it's supposed to be, but like it kind of fires a little slow, so you can kind of like strafe out of the way of them a lot. So yeah, you just have fun with this. Just, you know, just work on, you know, they keep respawning, so you don't have to worry about them like not coming back. They always come back. Like you see here, their aim is actually pretty good. So yeah, this gives you a time to like work under pressure and just kind of, you know, figure out how you would attack certain situations. Now, to deactivate the glitch, you can either do what you're seeing me do on the screen here, which is basically the same thing you do to activate it, or you can just return to the lobby and the dummies will be reset when you return. But that will pretty much do it for this video. I thank you so much for checking it out. If you've made it this far, you are a true trooper, and I greatly appreciate you even more. If it helped you at all, or if you learned anything new in this video, maybe consider liking or subscribing for more tips videos. I will have more of these school videos out that will cover all aspects of this game, including movement, positioning, like more things on aiming, and just things like that. So if you guys want to get, you know, better at the game, be sure to subscribe to me, and I will take care of you. But without further ado, this has been Gimme Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.